Hey, good morning, my friends. Derek here from Bomb Socks, back with another week of Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. So this week we get a chance to cover the books of Haggai and Zechariah, two of the minor prophets with a major message. So the context of this, let me actually take you to what I would call the scariest parable that Jesus Christ ever gave. And it's going to set up where we're going for this whole week of Haggai and Zechariah. So go over to Luke chapter 14. Now, Luke chapter 14, Jesus gives a parable. Like I said, to me, it is the scariest parable out there. You go down to verse number 27, and it says, "And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, lest haply after he hath laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish." Now, I don't know if any of that hits you guys deep. For me, I am so good at starting things. I've got books on my shelf that have, bookmarks halfway through there. There's been exercise programs that I've started and have been great. There's been programs, there's been ideas that I get the great way to start off, but I don't always finish it. Please tell me I'm not the only one who does that, because I think it's probably one of the great frustrations of my life, which is why I call that one of the most difficult, if not scariest, parables that Jesus ever gave. You start something, but then you lack the motivation to finish it. Well, again, you're wondering, what does this have to do with Haggai and Zechariah? Let me now take you over to the book of Ezra, all right? Now, if you go into Ezra chapter 5, now Ezra, you're thinking way back in the Old Testament. I know, again, the Old Testament is nowhere chronological by any stretch of the imagination, but this is to the point where, if you remember in the books of Ezra and Nehemiah, this is where the kingdom of Persia came in and wiped out the Babylonians and allowed the Jews to be able to return back to Jerusalem, even financed it to be able to help them get started on rebuilding the temple. Now you go to Ezra chapter 5, you look at the chapter heading, it says, Haggai and Zechariah prophesy. You go to verse number 1, it says, Then the prophets Haggai the prophet and Zechariah prophesied unto the Jews that were in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of the God of Israel, even unto them, to the building of the temple. You go into Ezra chapter 6, verse 14, it says, The elders of the Jews builded, and they prospered through the prophesying of Haggai the prophet and Zechariah. And they builded, and they finished it. Now, as we go through, you're going to see this entire week, as the Jews were let back into Jerusalem, there was a lot of distractions to the building of the temple. Now, again, just like you and I, for this whole week, I'm going to focus on things that might be distractions to you and I as we're trying to build goodness in our lives. And as we get the idea to start something, we count the cost, like it said back in Luke, about how we are going to finish it up. Because again, we get distracted. Again, I hope I'm not the only one who does that. But as we study this week, like I said, through the books of Haggai and Zechariah, you're going to see some things that I think will help you and I to be able to finish what we have started. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for sharing these messages. We are so grateful that you do that. Please go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel-themed socks at bombsocks.com, and you guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Godspeed. Bye-bye.